It's a wonderful world, Gotham City. It's so big. It really was a pleasure.
He was the face behind Hollywood's most iconic roles: Batman, Iceman, Jim Morrison, and then he disappeared. No final interview, no farewell tour, just silence. For years, fans believed Val Kilmer had beaten the odds, conquered cancer, and walked away stronger. But what if everything we were told was only half the truth? What if behind those rare public smiles and nostalgic tributes, a devastating secret was unfolding in plain sight? In this video, we uncover the shocking truth behind Kilmer's vanishing act, one carefully shielded from the public eye. Why was the world shown a version of him that no longer existed? And who made that decision? The story you're about to hear isn't just heartbreaking, it rewrites everything you thought you knew about Val Kilmer's final years. This isn't a tribute. It's the untold story they never wanted you to hear. Until now. Val Kilmer's final curtain call has left Hollywood and fans reeling with grief. Yet behind the public heartache lies a labyrinth of revelations that challenge everything we once believed about his demise. New evidence has emerged that promises to upend our understanding of his struggle, and you're about to discover the hidden truth that will leave you utterly speechless. In the midst of hushed tributes and sorrow-laden social media outpourings, an unsettling pattern has begun to emerge. Not only did this iconic actor, whose transformative presence once dazzled audiences as the enigmatic Jim Morrison and the fearless Iceman, battle fierce health setbacks with stoic determination, but he also meticulously curated every aspect of his extraordinary lifestyle, a narrative of glamour shadowed by unresolved mysteries. As whispers circulate about undisclosed details, some insiders are now insisting that the official story may have glossed over critical elements, stirring shock and awe among those who cherished his legacy. In the wake of his tragic departure at 65, following a public struggle with pneumonia, celebrities such as Tom Cruise and Oliver Stone, along with countless fans, have shared poignant memories of an artist whose intensity transcended the screen. However, behind the curtain of his celebrated career lurked a private world of luxury that few fully grasped. Imagine an actor who not only redefined his craft with every role, but also navigated the high-stakes world of financial investments and extravagant living. Owning an enviable fleet of luxury cars that mirror his bold personality, sporting high-end watches that encapsulated decades of success, and owning sprawling estates and even a private jet that symbolized his relentless pursuit of excellence in both art and life. The enigmatic star's journey from his breakout roles in the 1980s, where he dazzled as the wisecracking heartthrob in hit films, to his transformative performances that captured hearts and provoked thought, is now being re-examined in light of shocking new admissions and financial revelations that add layers of complexity to his legacy. This unexpected twist in the narrative comes as several close friends and former colleagues have hinted at a secret world of collaborations, high-profile business ventures, and insurance policies tailored to protect not just his physical health, but his considerable assets and career. A strategy that mirrors the calculated risk-taking seen in both his movie characters and real life. One powerful hook that reverberates through this unfolding saga is the notion that every moment of Kilmer's public persona was intertwined with an equally meticulous private financial strategy, designed to weather both professional highs and personal setbacks. As the internet buzzes with theories and unexpected confessions, industry insiders note that Kilmer's financial acumen was as legendary as his cinematic achievements. The actor's penchant for reinvesting in his own brand led him to secure major deals and partnerships, diversifying his portfolio with ventures ranging from boutique film production to luxury real estate developments, ensuring a lasting impact that transcended the silver screen. Throughout his career, Kilmer was known to embrace roles with fearless authenticity and vulnerability, yet his off-camera decisions reflected a calculated drive to build a legacy, one punctuated by smart insurance policies that safeguarded his health, assets, and intellectual property amid the unpredictable tides of fame. Another hook that will grip you is the stark contrast between the charismatic rebel seen on stage and the shrewd financial strategist behind closed doors. His collection of sleek, high-performance vehicles was not just a symbol of success, but also a testament to an obsessive attention to detail in every aspect of his persona, from his impeccably crafted wardrobe to his state-of-the-art timepieces, each piece echoing milestones of triumph and challenging moments. Even his real estate portfolio, a series of luxurious homes in exclusive neighborhoods, was strategical, reflecting both an appreciation for beauty and an understanding of long-term investment. A narrative that beckons us to look closer at how personal style and financial savvy can converge in a single life story. As we unravel these layers, an equally compelling hook emerges from the discussion of Kilmer's dramatic career resurgence in recent years. After years of subdued public appearances, a vintage video resurfaced, showing him playfully donning a mask reminiscent of his iconic roles, a moment that fans believed signified hope and renewed vigor. Yet, as investigators discovered, the origins of that video date back several years, prompting fresh inquiries into what part of his story was selectively shared with the world. In retrospect, those behind-the-scenes moments, captured quietly during a period marked by both resilience and mounting health concerns, might be the key to understanding the real cause of his decline, urging us to re-examine every whispered detail with newfound skepticism. The interplay between his celebrated career and the enigmatic business decisions he made in private now forms the bedrock of a rich narrative that offers financial lessons and cautionary advice in equal measure. Kilmer's legacy, therefore, is not solely defined by his unforgettable performances, but also by an enduring blueprint for wealth building and asset management in the unpredictable arena of celebrity culture. With every interview and reflection, stories emerge of a man who personified transformation, seamlessly moving from one iconic role to another, while ensuring his financial future was as robust as his career on the big screen. His deliberate approach to insurance, a shield for both personal and professional vulnerabilities, offers a powerful lesson for anyone navigating a high-risk career. The importance of planning for the unforeseen while still daring to dream boldly. As the echoes of his once uncontainable energy continue to resonate, we are left with a potent mix of admiration and unanswered questions, each hook driving us deeper into a mystery that is as financially intricate as it is emotionally charged. In a world where every glamorous success story hides layers of complexity, Kilmer's journey remains a testament to the transformative power of resilience, innovation, and strategic foresight, leaving us with a final question. How much of our own narrative is shaped by the unseen battles we choose to fight? And what legacy are we determined to leave behind? But Kilmer wasn't a man who flaunted his wealth. He invested it, lived in it, and sometimes watched it slip through his hands. He owned several properties, including a sprawling New Mexico ranch known as Hellmel Studios. That estate, valued at over $3.5 million, was more than just land. It was a retreat, an art sanctuary, a place he called his soul's studio. He had hoped to transform it into a community hub for artists and creatives. But in the years following his diagnosis, parts of the estate were sold quietly, piece by piece. Some say it was to cover treatment costs. Others believe it was part of a plan to simplify his estate for his children. And while Kilmer may not have been the type to show off like many of his A-list peers, he had his tastes. He once owned a limited edition Bentley Continental GT and a sleek black 1967 Chevy Camaro, a nod to his love of Americana. His watch collection included vintage Omega Speedmasters and a rare Patek Philippe given to him during his Tombstone press tour, a subtle but deeply valued treasure. Private jets weren't regular parts of his lifestyle, but during the height of his career, he frequently chartered Gulfstreams and Learjets, mostly for tight film schedules. His business ventures, though less publicized, were ambitious. Kilmer invested in independent film productions, dabbled in publishing, and co-founded a performance art platform connected to Hellmel Studios. But these ventures, while creatively rich, rarely produced high financial returns. He avoided commercial endorsements, believing they diluted an actor's credibility, an old-school view that may have limited his income but preserved his integrity. That's what made him so captivating. Kilmer wasn't chasing fame. He was chasing purpose. In terms of protection, Kilmer held a robust insurance portfolio during his prime. His health insurance was extensive, covering high-risk treatment options, and industry insiders confirmed he had policies in place protecting against production halts caused by medical conditions, a necessity in Hollywood where one delay could mean millions lost. He also reportedly held asset protection policies over his real estate and intellectual property rights, ensuring that royalties from his past roles, including Top Gun, The Doors, and Batman Forever, continued to provide for his family. Still, perhaps the most heartbreaking part of his story wasn't what was lost, but what never got said. In the wake of hate that there was more Kilmer wanted to share, Downey posted a cryptic message on Instagram, writing, "He held more than he ever showed," while Bacon revealed they'd exchanged letters during Kilmer's illness. Letters he's now too emotional to release. These subtle, private tributes suggest that Kilmer's final years were filled with deep reflections, perhaps even regrets. One of the most striking confessions came from his daughter Mercedes, who shared that her father had prepared voice notes and handwritten letters for friends and collaborators, sealed and undelivered. She said he was planning something, possibly a memoir, possibly a film, but whatever it was, it never reached completion. The idea that there are still words from Kilmer the world hasn't heard adds a ghostly sense of mystery to his story. In a world obsessed with instant updates and flashy headlines, Kilmer's life now serves as a powerful reminder. Not all battles are visible, and not every hero wears their pain on their sleeve. His comeback wasn't just a return to film, it was a return to himself. Every role he played in his final decade had an undercurrent of defiance, of vulnerability wrapped in silence. He wasn't just trying to survive cancer, he was trying to leave something behind that mattered. There was something almost sacred about how Val began to disappear. No long-winded farewell speeches, no media tour filled with tears and goodbyes. He just stopped, like a candle slowly dimming in the distance. His last public event was in 2019, and even then he appeared briefly, standing beside his daughter. Then, nothing. No red carpets, no conventions, no behind-the-scenes photos from upcoming roles. Hollywood's Iceman had gone off the radar. And while fans thought it was recovery time, what no one realized was that the break wasn't temporary. It was indefinite. But just when the silence got too loud, a surprise clip surfaced. Kilmer, smiling beneath the iconic Batman mask, playfully glancing at the camera. The internet lit up. Fans felt a wave of hope. Was he back? Was he healing? But that clip, as it turns out, wasn't fresh at all. It had been filmed years prior, long before the rapid decline. So why release it now? The answer wasn't simple. Was it meant to protect him, or preserve an image we weren't ready to let go of? As that video spread like wildfire, something darker crept beneath the surface. The timeline didn't add up. While the world believed he was stable, recovering, maybe even preparing a quiet return, those closest to him knew otherwise. He wasn't making content. He wasn't celebrating anniversaries of past films. He was resting, struggling, and in many ways, retreating. Friends who managed to see him described a man unrecognizable. Frail, soft-spoken, eyes still sharp but tired. And others weren't allowed to visit at all. His circle was small, intentional, and fiercely protective. There was respect in that silence, yes, but also fear. Not of illness, but of legacy, of letting the world see him diminished. That's why even his social media became a time capsule. Vintage movie clips, throwback quotes, old interviews. It was all in the past tense, rarely a glimpse of today. And that absence created something more powerful than any headline could: mystery. People began to wonder, not just where he was, but what he was hiding from. A second hook hit hard here, like, what happens when your final legacy isn't shaped by what you do, but by what you choose not to show? And then came a turning point that few saw coming. Kilmer was admitted to the hospital again. Whispers started to ripple through the industry. Not because there was an official announcement, there wasn't, but because insiders, those who'd kept quiet for years, began to talk. They spoke in hushed tones about his condition. Some admitted they hadn't heard from him in months. Others said he no longer answered calls. There were no visits, just closed doors, and silent rooms. The illusion that he was simply taking a step back to recharge began to fracture. It wasn't a pause, it was a slow farewell. And when the official news finally dropped, pneumonia, peaceful, surrounded by loved ones, it felt like the closing of a story we hadn't even finished reading. But beneath that final line was a third and chilling hook. What if the version of events we were given wasn't the whole truth? Those who had worked with Val over the years knew his complexity. He was intense, stubborn, passionate to a fault, but he was also deeply private. The contradiction was clear. He wanted to be seen, remembered, celebrated, but not pitied. And that's why so much of what happened in those final years stayed behind closed doors. The surgeries, the setbacks, the physical toll, all hidden behind old movie clips and nostalgic edits. And now, in the wake of his departure, more pieces are beginning to fall into place.